The galaxy had a way of falling in love with power empires, rose and burned across the spiral arms. Fleets crossed the dark between stars like silver rivers. Worlds bent their knees to strength humanity, did not bend when the war came to earth. The skies turned white with fire, alien armadas filled the horizon, cities shook, oceans boiled, but humans did not bend. They fought with ships built too fast and guns that overheated. They fought with farmers and teachers and miners. They fought with courage that made no sense. They fought until the invaders withdrew. The galaxy watched. Among those who watched was Princess Lyari of the Eastra Dominion. Her people were ancient, their skin shimmered like crystal, their eyes held three pupils that could see heat and motion and fear. They ruled 1,000 systems without lifting a blade, because everyone feared them. Lyari had been promised to a warlord from the Keth coalition, a union of power, a union of fleets, a union that would make the Dominion untouchable. She did not care. She had seen the footage from Earth. She had watched a single human cruiser ram a Keth dreadnought to save a civilian transport. She had seen humans hold hands in the ruins of their cities and sing while rescue ships searched the rubble. She had watched one human pilot laugh as his engines failed and guide his falling craft away from a hospital. Something inside her changed. Everyone wanted her. Warlords, princes, generals, ambassadors, all of them wanted the Eastra throne. She wanted something else. When the Dominion announced a summit to welcome humanity into the Greater Galactic Council, the hall filled with glittering armor and polished claws. Delegations arrived in ships the size of continents. Each came to judge the new species. Sent one cruiser. It was scarred, it was small, it carried a single diplomat. His name was Daniel Reyes. He wore a dark suit. No armor, no visible weapon. He walked into the hall with steady steps. The chamber rose high as a mountain. Columns of living crystal hummed with energy. Above them floated banners of 1,000 empires. Lyari stood at the center on a platform of light. Her gown flowed like liquid starlight. A crown of woven metal rested in her silver hair. When Daniel entered, he did not bow to the floor. He placed his hand over his heart. He inclined his head, a simple gesture, honest, unafraid. The hall murmured. Keth warriors growled. Van traders whispered. The insectoid Yulari clicked their mandibles in irritation. Yuri stutchenly. Here he studied him. He was smaller than most beings in the room, softer. His skin showed no armor plates. His eyes held only to pupils. Yet he did not look weak. He looked steady. The High Chancellor of the Dominion began the formal greeting. He spoke of trade, of alliance, of cooperation. Listened, then he spoke. His voice was calm. It carried without amplification. Humanity seeks peace. We will trade, we will share, but we will not kneel. The chamber erupted. Energy crackled. Claws scraped. Several warlords rose in outrage. The Keth representative slammed his spear into the floor. He demanded that humanity apologized. Daniel did not move. We respect strength, he said. We understand war, but we do not bow silence. Followed. Lyari felt her pulse quicken. No one spoke to the Dominion like that. No one refused submission in this hall. She stepped forward. The room stilled. Her voice flowed clear. Why do you not fear us? Human. Daniel met her gaze. Because fear is not how we choose our friends there. Words struck her harder than any weapon. The summit continued for hours. Arguments, threats, offers. Daniel answered each with quiet resolve. When the Keth warlord leaned close and let his massive shadow fall over him, Daniel did not flinch. When the Yulari hinted at economic strangulation, Daniel smiled and listed alternative trade routes humans had already mapped. When the Varn attempted to insult human biology, Daniel laughed and complimented their engineering. Lyari watch. She had met countless leaders. They flattered, they threatened, they calculated. Daniel simply stood after. The summit she summoned him to a private garden suspended above the capital city. The garden floated in open-air vines of light, drifted between transparent platforms. Below them, the city shimmered like a sea of stars. Daniel stepped onto the platform. He looked around with quiet awe. "Is beautiful," he said. Liari dismissed her guards. They withdrew without questions. She faced him alone. "Everyone wants me," she said. He tilted his head. "That sounds difficult." She almost smiled. "They want my throne, my fleets, my influence. They offer conquest in my name. They promise dominion." She stepped closer. "What do humans want?" Daniel considered safety, opportunity, a future for our children, someone to stand beside us, not above us. The air hummed softly around the Mewspeak. "Boldly, for a species still rebuilding," she said. "We learned to build under fire." He answered. Liari felt the weight of centuries pressing on her. Duty, expectation, a lion. She reached out and touched his hand. His skin was warm. "Everyone wants me," she said softly, "but I only want you human." The words hung between them. Daniel did not pull away. "Princess," he said carefully. "You do not know, may know enough," she replied. "You do not fear me, you do not desire my power. You stand because you choose to stand." He searched her face. "You realize what this means," he said. "Your council will resist the Keth, will see it as betrayal." "I'm not a prize to be traded," she said. "I am the heir to the Dominion." Her eyes brightened. "And I choose the next cycle." The Dominion announced the dissolution of the arranged union with the Keth coalition. Shockwaves rippled through the galaxy. The Keth warlord roared in fury. He mobilized fleets. The council chambers filled with tension. Liari stood before her. "People, I will not bind our future to fear," she declared. "We will stand with those who stand with Ustaketh." Armada emerged from warp near the border of Dominion space. Hundreds of ships, weapons charged. They expected submission, or at least hesitation. Instead, they found human cruisers waiting beside Dominion battlespheres. The human ships were still scarred, still smaller, but they held formation with perfect alignment. Daniel stood on the bridge of the lead cruiser. Beside him stood Estra. "Commanders, this is not your war," one of them said. Quietly, "It is when you are our allies," Daniel replied. The Keth warlord transmitted a final demand. "Return the princess. Submit to union or burn." Liari appeared on the channel. Her image filled the void. "I'm not yours to command," she said. "Leave now." The warlord snarled and ordered attack. Space ignited. Human ships moved first, accelerated straight into the densest formation of enemy vessels. They targeted weapons arrays. They shielded Dominion ships with their own hulls. One cruiser lost engines. Instead of retreating, it rotated and used its body as a barrier to protect a Dominion carrier. Dominion battlespheres unleashed focused beams that carved through Keth destroyers. The fight raged across the stars. The human flagship alarms screamed. Daniel gripped his consoled image. Reports flooded Ina. Dominion sphere drifted powerless in the center of the conflict. Without hesitation, Daniel ordered full thrust. They rammed the enemy command ship. The impact shattered both vessels. The explosion lit the system like a newborn sun. When the light faded, the Keth armada was broken. Survivors fled into warp rescue operations. Began immediately. Escape pods scattered across debris fields. Dominion medics worked beside human cruise. Liari stood in a command center, watching casualty lists. Her hands trembled. Daniel survived. His ship was gone, his uniform torn, but he lived. When he entered the chamber, she crossed the room without ceremony. "You are reckless," she said. He smiled faintly. "So I have been told. You could have died." "So could you," he answered. She held his face between her hands. "Everyone wanted me for my power," she said, "but you risked everything for my people." He shook his head. Not for your power, for our future. The Dominion Council reconvened this time. The hall felt different. Representatives who once scoffed at humanity now spoke with respect. The alliance was ratified, not as a union of domination, but as equals in the cycles that followed. Joint fleets patrolled the borders, trade routes expanded, cultural exchanges flourished. Children of crystal skin and human laughter played in the floating gardens. Larry and Daniel stood often on the same platform where she first confessed her choice. Below them, the capital glowed. Do you regret it? He asked, once choosing you. She looked at the stars. Everyone still wants me, she said. They always will. She turned to him. But I only want you. Human. He took her hand, and this time there was no war waiting beyond the horizon, only the vast unknown and two species ready to face it. Side by side, asterisk.